Hi FlossTube, how are you all? I hope you're all well. Today I'm bringing you my whip updates for May video. I have a lot to discuss with you today, and it seems that's been the way of my last few videos, so I think the short videos from me are long gone. I think they're all going to be a little bit lengthy from now on, so if you don't like lengthy videos, I'm sorry, but I know a lot of you do, so you'll be quite happy. Okay, so first thing I want to say is I have had a big think about the format of my videos and the frequency, and I'm going to make some changes, and I'm going to see how they go, and if all going well, I will keep it this way. So what I hope to do from now on is at the end of each month do a whip update. So at the moment I'm currently doing them every 2 weeks and showing you two of my main whips in each video and everything else I have to show you. But what I want to do is focus on one video to show all my whips for the month and the progress I made each month. And the reason why I want to do it that way instead of every 2 weeks is I'm getting behind on the other videos I want to do for you guys. I'm aware that you all seem to love the tutorial videos, so I really want to do more of those. And I also have quite a few tag videos that I'm way behind on, and I want to get those done. Sorry, had to answer the door. So yes, I hope to do my whip update videos on a monthly basis and then focus on the smaller videos and hope to do one of those every 2 weeks. So whether it be a tutorial, whether it be a tag video, whether it just be random stuff, yeah, so hopefully that will work, and hopefully you'll all like that sort of thing. Please let me know. And I completely forgot to mention, guys, so I'll add this little video in here. Thank you so much for all your kind concerns and thoughts regarding my shoulder on my last video. I ended up having 2 cortisone injections in the shoulder because I found out that I had bursitis and frozen shoulder, so I had to have a shot in the front and a shot in the back. And cortisone injection wasn't painful at all, although you do hear it is, but I must admit that night the pain from the injection, like once the anesthetic wears off, that was really painful. So took a couple of days to get over the actual injection, and sort of was thinking that I had done the wrong thing. But now I'm all good, all back to normal shoulder. So hopefully no more issues with that. But I just wanted to thank you all so very much for your beautiful comments, and you know, the fact that you're all thinking of me, and it's just lovely. So thank you. So for now, let's get right into it and discuss all the stitchy stuff for this month. Last video I mentioned, I showed you my May cottage, the month, and asked you all about your suggestions for the doorstep colour for my cottage, and the majority of you actually said that you liked the pink, so that's what I did. I added the pink doorstep, and I love it. I think it looks really great. So thank you to all of you. That is now a proper finish. So my whip number 3 for the month is my Heaven and Earth design mini bath time, and I was really looking forward to getting back into this month because, as you know, I completely missed it stitching on it last month, which made me sad. So I will show you where I was up to last time you saw it. And as you can see here, I had finished the 2nd row on page 2, and now I have actually finished page 2. So I was really happy with the amount that I got stitched. It made up for missing it for a month. I love how I can see the detail in her tail. It looks so incredible. This design is very confetti heavy, as you can see by all the parked threads. But I'm really loving the colours. It's going to look so awesome in my bathroom. My bathroom is a mixture of creams and a little bit of like a gold. So I think she's going to look lovely in there. So now I want to talk about parking a little bit, because I've had a lot of questions and comments, not just on parking but on tent stitching. And I have to give a shout out to Kenneth from the Philippines. Hi Kenneth, I hope I've pronounced your name correctly. Kenneth has been contacting me, asking me all sorts of questions about tent stitching and parking, and I said, look, I'm going to mention it in my next video and answer some of your questions there. So here goes. Oh, loads of interruptions today. Okay, so for all of you that I've seen a lot of you post on Facebook groups and FlossTube that you want to really try tent stitching on your heaven and earth design, because as you've heard a few of us mention, it's a lot faster, because obviously you're only doing half of the cross, so therefore it's half the stitching time. And I agree, it is faster. However, you do have to give it a bit more thought, because you can't, well you can, but I don't recommend doing just ordinary tent stitching, so like crossing over in one direction for the whole design. If you do that, it will distort your fabric. I did start my mermaid this way, so I can show you. Now, as I hold this up, can you see there's a change in the fabric there? You can see it's not quite straight, and I don't believe this was caused from my frame. It has a puckered feel to it. And there's the back of it. Just want to show you, just concentrate on that part. Hopefully you can see that. So that's what it will look like at the back, which is normal tent stitching. So I believe there are two reasons why the continental tent stitch is what's recommended. One is because it covers the back more fully than a normal tent stitch, and therefore you won't see the back of the fabric, how can I say this? You won't see the fabric as much behind the stitches. You know, sometimes when you stitch black and on white and you can see a bit of the white fabric showing through. Well, if you're doing a tent stitch, that's more likely to happen than if you're cross stitching. So by using the continental tent stitch, it alleviates that problem. Well, I don't know whether it alleviates it completely, but it's better. The other reason for the continental tent stitch is you are on one row, you're going in one direction, and the next row you're going in the other direction. So it's literally pulling the fabric back in two ways, like it would when you're cross stitching. When you cross stitch, you go across one direction, you go back in the other direction. So it's pulling the fabric one way first and then back the other way. So continental tent stitch is the same theory. On one row, you're going that way, the second row, you're going that way. So it's pulling it back into line. So I can't remember at what point that I changed to continental tent stitching, but I do know that this first section was done in tent stitching. From then on, I changed, and the distortion does not appear to be there anymore on this side. I'm much happier with how it looks. So for me, that's the way to go. I will show you the back of that as well. Really, really messy. That's how it is with parking, guys. And look, for those of you that say you can't do it because you can't handle a messy back, look, I completely get that. I really do, because I was like that too for years. I've been stitching for a long time, and I was in the belief that the back must look the same as the front. But there's no way you can do the parking method and have the back look the same as the front. It's just not possible. And to be completely honest, who's going to see it? Okay, don't beat yourself up over it. It's not worth it. The only person that's going to see it is you and the framer and anyone else you choose to show. And I've just showed the whole of FlossTube. So, you know, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. It's what's on the front that matters, and it's what you enjoy doing. And I love parking. As I said, I only said it on my tag video, I only do parking on full coverage designs. And I know a few of you are doing it on other things, and that's awesome. I'm so happy that you love it and that it works for you. But for me, I still prefer to do my other designs the way I've been stitching for 20 years. But I love parking, and I have stopped beating myself up about how the back looks, and I've just gone with it and said, hey, to hell with that. It's the front that matters. And if I didn't show you guys the back, you wouldn't even know. So that's it. I will insert a picture here. I've done it before, but I'll do it again to remind you. I'll insert a picture here of the method of the continental 10 stitch so you can see. I actually am hoping to do a video, another parking video for you guys, to show how I park with the 10 stitch. I don't know if my method is completely correct. I've just sort of looked at the diagram, looked at how I did parking with cross stitch, and just tried to figure out something that works. So again, see, that's another video I need to do for you guys. So hopefully I can free up some time now and get these tutorials out. And yeah, so that's my ramble on that. I hope I've answered your questions, Kenneth. If not, feel free to keep messaging me and I'll do my best. But yeah, so that's all I have to say on that one. Still loving this. Someone did ask me, I think they said this is going to take you ages to do. It has taken me 21 days to do 2 pages. And there are, how many pages are in this one? I can't remember. Anyway, I worked out that it's going to take me, I've forgotten now. I think I worked out that if I was just working solely on this, it would only take me a few months, really. I mean, this is a mini. This isn't a BAP. This is a mini, and it's done tent stitching, so it's everything possible to make it a quick design. So, but I'm happy just doing a week a month. That's great because I'm, you know, getting my fill of all the other things I want to stitch. So it's awesome. Okay, enough about that one. Okay, so my next WIP, my WIP 4 is a new start because, as you know, I finished 99 bottles and that left a big spot in my rotation. So I started Little House Needleworks, Needleworker, and I was contacted by Tina, otherwise known as Stay and Stitch, on Instagram. And she said that she actually had this piece and wanted to stitch it too, and would I be interested in doing a stitch along with her? And I said absolutely. And I told her when I was looking at starting it in my rotation, and that worked perfect for her. So we started that on the 25th of May. And then the crafty curator, Letitia, hi, has already started this particular design. And I believe she takes it in the car with her. And she asked if she could join in on our stitch along as well. And of course I said yes. So the 3 of us have been stitching this together and urging us along. This is a very quick stitch, guys. Just cannot believe it. But obviously Tina and I dedicated the majority of our stitching time each day to this. And Letitia, it's not a main focus for her. So I do understand Letitia has other projects at the moment. So Tina and I have finished ours, and I will hold it up. Yay! Love, love, love this design. Okay, so I stitched mine on the recommended 30 count creek bed brown linen by R&R Reproductions. Have to point out at this stage that I was a little disappointed when the linen arrived because it cost me about $30 Australian, and it's really very similar. It's just like a natural raw linen, really, or very similar to lamb's wool. Let me check. Okay, so this is lamb's wool linen. All right, so it's a darker colour, but other than that, it's pretty much the same. So I would classify this as very close to a natural raw linen. And you can pick that up much cheaper on 123 Stitch than $30. So live and learn. My advice there is if you can change it out to a different fabric, go for it. Letitia and Tina did theirs on a lighter colour fabric, and I think the colours look absolutely amazing on that. This is stitched in Crescent Colours Classic Colourworks hand-dyed threads. It's the first time I have used them, and they were beautiful to stitch with. They came with the chart, bonus. And yeah, the variation in the threads is more prominent with some colours than others. I can't see the variation so much in the green, but I can see it in the berries. And obviously in the bird with the black. Progression with the black to the brown is definitely there. The white cotton that's in his beak, doesn't seem to be a progression there. And in the needle, see again, this shows up better on Tina and Letitia's fabric because it's lighter, but the needle, the colour really doesn't stand out that much on this fabric. So I decided to add one strand of blending filament. Sorry guys, had to go and get that and I couldn't find where I put it. And I apologise for the lighting here. This is the last day of autumn. Today we've got first of winter tomorrow, which is really sad. I like autumn. And the sun has just completely disappeared. So hopefully you can see everything okay. So the single strand of silver filament that I added was something I found in my stash from 20 years ago. It's Balger. I think that's how you say it. And it's obviously French. And it's the closest thing I had to silver. It's actually white looking. It's just a very fine sparkly filament. So that suited my needs perfectly. So I just, what I did, I'm not even sure you're going to see the sparkle in this light. I'm sorry. So I did, oh, I suppose you can a little bit. So I just did the cross stitching and then I went over each cross with a tent stitch with one strand because I didn't want it to sparkle too much because I love the rustic look of this design. It's not meant to be a bling bling design and I didn't want to take away from the rustic look. So I just wanted enough just to give it a little bit of a sparkle so you can see that, oh, that's a needle there. So, okay, what I didn't mention was this took me technically 5 nights. Would have taken me 4 nights, but I made a major stuff up. And I actually found the first negative thing in using a digital chart. What I did was I started from the middle, which was somewhere around here, and I decided to work on the letters first, and I worked across this way. And I got to the N, and I had zoomed in on the E, because I started the N here and worked my way up. And I zoomed in on the E and I noticed where I needed to start on the E. Started stitching away, did the whole N, and I'm actually going to insert a picture here of what I did wrong. Would you believe it wasn't until I completely finished the N and went to post my picture on Instagram for my update for the evening, I noticed this humongous gap and I went, oh no, and I looked at the picture on the chart. You idiot. I had looked at the wrong E. So that's one negative of a PDF. Make sure you zoom out occasionally to check where you are. There was 2 E's, should have been the other E. Live and learn. So yeah, it took me a little while. I actually frogged it very, very carefully because I wasn't sure if there were going to be enough threads for me to do the whole design. I mean, there's a lot there in the end. It did come with 2 skeins of this colour. 2 skeins of this colour. But I didn't want to run out and have to get another skein, and it might have been a different dye lot. So I frogged it very, very carefully. Turns out there was enough. So anyway, I wasted an evening doing that and restitching it. So would have been done in 4 nights. But that's, you know, that's 4 nights of solid stitching for me. So really, really happy. Really love the variegation, as I said, especially in the berries. So yeah, I already have a frame for this one. I bought a frame from an op shop a few years back. Well, no, it's probably last year. And it's a black rectangle frame, and someone has done their own mat board in it, and they haven't done it very well. So I'm going to get a mat board done, and that will get framed and probably put up right next to my stitchy spot. So that was a long ramble on that. Oh, I forgot to mention something. Letitia has given our birds a name, and her name is Sally. So everyone say hi, Sally. Sally, because of the sow that we're doing. And Letitia is still going with her design, so I want you guys to all encourage her to get it finished, because I know she can, and she will be so happy when she does. And oh, the other thing I want to say is I will not be washing this because of the hand-dyed threads not colour fast. It does actually say that, and I didn't pre-wash them, so I was very careful to keep everything clean. So that red makes me very nervous. There's no way that's touching water, because yeah, just imagine what would happen there. Okay, so the next thing was I finished my Biscornu for my mum, and oh my god, I love it so much. It turned out so much better than I thought. Really, really happy. I'm not going to go on too much about it because look, I've already sent it to mum, but I did a video on the morning that I was sending the parcel, so I will insert that here. Hi guys, well here is my finished Biscornu called Cherry Blossoms by the Sweetheart Tree, and I am so happy with how this turned out. It is just so intricate and feminine and pretty, and easily my most favourite fully finished object this year. I really didn't expect it to turn out as good as it did. To be honest, I expected something to go wrong with the assembly because I've never done one of these before. And generally for me, something always tends to go wrong at the last minute. But it didn't. I'm doing this video, it's quite early in the morning, but I've got to get this in the post to mum today, and unfortunately it's going to be too late for her birthday, but I'm sure she will still really love it and won't mind waiting a little bit longer. So for any of you that have never done a Biscornu before and are thinking about, sorry, that's my cat, thinking about doing one of these kits, I'll go through this all in a little bit more detail for you, and that way you can figure out for yourself if it's something that you would like to do. I'm just going to show you, this one is actually exactly identical on the other side. I've mentioned before that I don't like stitching the same thing twice, and in this, how I tackled this project was I stitched one whole side first and then I went and stitched the second side. So I think next time I complete one of these, I will actually do each step on both sides before moving on to the next step, and I think that will keep me a little bit happier. But obviously it's up to you how you put this together. So I will show you what comes in the kit. So this is how it looks. This is the front photo. And I need to cover up the chart here. These are the details. The kit contains the fabric required. It's in one piece and you'll need to cut it in half so that you'll have two sides. And it gives instructions for that. And it includes all the embellishments, the buttons for the middle of the design for both sides, the pearls, the seed beads, the DMC floss, the number 12 pearl cotton, and the Threadworks hand-dyed threads, as well as a tapestry and beading needle. So everything that you need to complete this design, except for the stuffing, is included, which I thought was great. Having never done one of these before, I didn't know what I was doing, so the fact that everything was included was a real benefit for me. Okay, so again, without showing you anything, here is some more details of what is inside. So you have the key, clearly set out, symbols are easy to read and understand, and then you have a few diagrams for the specialty stitches. So there are 4 specialty stitches in this particular design: the satin stitch, the modified star stitch, the modified eyelet stitch, and the diamond eye stitch. And again, first time for me doing specialty stitches, and I just used these instructions and it worked perfectly. And then it gives you step by step, as you see here, row 1, row 2, row 3. This is how you work the design without showing you the chart. It is numbered on the chart, what is row 1, what is row 2, and then you can follow the instructions written here on how to complete it. And on the other side of the design, of the chart, the rest of the instructions for the stitching, and then how to put it all together. Okay, so step 1 of the process is they tell you to fold the piece of fabric in half and then cut it exactly in half. So I did that. You have to make sure that you do that correctly, obviously, because you don't want one side to be bigger than the other. And then I put all my cottons on bobbins. As you can see, this is what I have left over. So there's plenty there. And I put my beads in my tacky bob, and this is what I have left over. So, and I did manage to drop a couple. So as you can see, there's plenty there. They actually came in a little bag. I think it would have been helpful if they had been separated, because the small plum beads and the large plum beads, there's not a lot of difference in size, and yeah, it just would have been a little bit easier to have them separated. Anyway, so step 1 was to work the satin stitch. The satin stitch is the dark green and the pink right in the very middle in a diamond shape, and you had to work both those colours, and that was step 1. Step 2 was backstitch, and it was backstitching around that diamond shape in the 3 colours. So it's the green, the ecru, and the pink. Step 3 was the diamond eye stitch all around. So as you can see, you're working from the middle and you're coming out. Again, first time for me doing this stitch, they're not perfect. The hardest thing I found for this stitch was getting the holes the same size on each one. but I think that's something that you'll get better with practice. I hope I do. But I'm really happy with how they turned out anyway. One thing I did find with this, and I'll tell you these things as I go along, the colour of this eyelet stitch is ecru, and it is so close to the colour of the material that it's not funny. I did find that I had to use a magnifying glass so that I could see the holes properly to complete this stitch. If it had been in a different colour, it would have been easier, but yeah, I did struggle with that a little bit without the magnifying glass, so that's a little tip there. So step 4 was another back stitch, and that was around the diamond shape again in the green. Step 5 is the modified star stitch. Now that is these larger stars over here, and there's 4 of them, one at each point of the diamond. They're really easy to do. And once they were stitched, then I completed them by adding the bead, because the instructions said to do it at that point, so that's what I did. Next step was the, sorry if I'm making you dizzy, modified eyelet stitch, and that's these smaller flowers here. So they're a slightly different stitch to the star stitch. So there's 4 of those again, and they were also finished off with a bead in the middle. I think it would have been probably easier to do all the beading at the end, but each bead required a different colour to attach the bead with, so I went with the instructions. Step 7 is the cross stitch, the back stitch, the beads and the pearls. So basically all the rest of the design. So what I did was I completed all the cross stitching first, the flowers, the petals. So I did all the cross stitching all the way around, and then I did all the back stitching. So the flower there has dark pink for the petals, and then there's the dark green for the leaves and all the stems. And then the rest of the beads got added, so the larger pearl beads and the smaller ones. Step 8 was to stitch the outer border using the Threadworks hand-dyed threads. So close there. Now I was a little disappointed at this point, because in the picture those colours are a lot more vibrant, and I know with hand-dyed threads that you will get variations in hand-dyed threads, but it was at this point that I sort of thought, well, everything actually looks brighter on this picture than it really is. So I think a bit of photoshopping might have occurred there, but I'm still happy with it. I still really love it. Okay, so after the border was done, step 9 is to do the back stitch of the actual design. So you can't see it, but just behind these beads is where all the back stitching went. So it finished off the actual design in a square, and what that is, that becomes your stitching line for joining the pieces together. And that back stitch is done just like with the eyelets in exactly the same colour, and that's so that you actually can't see the join when it's all joined together. So I won't go into how to assemble it here. I'm going to put together a tutorial. I took a lot of photos as I was stitching it together, and I will do my best to explain what I'm doing as I'm doing it. But I just wanted to go into a little bit more detail for you guys, for any of you that might want to stitch one of these. The hardest thing I found about putting it together was doing the center button. Again, I'll explain that in the tutorial, but
what did I like the most about this kit? I would have to say the fact that everything was included. I loved that, and I loved the step-by-step instructions telling me exactly what order to do what stitch. There was no room for me to stuff it up. It was very self-explanatory. What I didn't like is probably, as I said, the fact that the colours look a little bit more muted than they do in the picture. They're not quite as vibrant. And that the beads probably could have been separated to their size. That would have made life a little bit easier, but that's being really fussy there. So all in all, I am so very happy, and I think my mum is going to love it, and hopefully she will use it. It's not just meant as a decorative piece. My mum uses her sewing machine a lot, so I hope she will get really good use out of it, and I am definitely going to stitch another one of these kits, and I really look forward to it. So thank you for watching.
So I hope you enjoyed seeing that up very close and personal. Yeah, I can't wait to do another one of those designs. I'm actually a little bit addicted to Biscornu now, and like Tara, I'm never quite sure how to pronounce your name. I want to say Tara, but I hear a lot of you say Tara, so I'm sorry. It's the English in me that wants to say Tara. I know you have quite a few Biscornus. I'm very jealous. I'm going to get there one day. Okay, next thing, I also got Mum's card finished, and silly me, I forgot to take a photo. So when she receives it, I'll get her to take a nice photo, and I'll pop that up in the next video if I remember. Very happy with that. I did an aperture card, added a couple of butterflies, added a little bow, and yeah, really happy with that one. One other thing I wanted to say about this one, again, sorry, is I discovered something about my stitching style with this, and I discovered that although I loved stitching with the crescent colour wax, I really don't like stitching a cross stitch at a time, which is what you need to do for variegated threads so that you get the variegation properly through the design. You do each cross individually, and I'm a stitcher that, you know, when you have a run of stitches, I like to go across and come back, cross and come back. I have just always done it that way. It's faster for me, and yeah, I did find that that really slowed down the process a lot for me. And a couple of times I went to do the run and then can't do that, and I sort of had to go back a little bit. So yeah, I discovered something about my stitching style, what I like and what I don't like with that. So okay, so obviously there's a break in my rotation because I finished Needleworker early, and I really didn't want to start my next whip. Had a bit of an issue yesterday. A few of you that are my Facebook friends are aware of what happened, but anyway, I'm not going to go into it here, but I was a bit rattled. So anyway, I didn't start this yesterday, I started the day before, but I worked on it yesterday. This is called Life's a Stitch Pincushion, and it's by Joan Elliott, and I got it finished last night. Really love this cute little design. Can you see the little gold beads? Yeah, you can see them there. So this came from a Woman's World in Cross Stitch book, which I hired from the library. And I'm going to turn this into a pincushion or an ornament, maybe a hanging pincushion. I don't know, I haven't decided. But I already did the back piece as well. If you can see the running stitch here in white, which I've done on both pieces. That's actually the joining seam when you join them together, because I won't be sewing them like that, stitching it and then turning it inside out. I'll actually be doing it the same as I did the Biscornu. So I'll do a little tutorial video on that as well, and this one's going to have all the beads around the outside. So that was a really fun, quick stitch. I love the nice bright colours. I was really surprised to have had, there's like 24 colours or something in this design, and I found all of them bar one in my stash, and I even had the gold beads, which are the same beads for Celtic Autumn, which I'm now going to have to buy some more of, so I don't want to run out. So yes, that's a cute one. That's done on 14 count white Aida, and it's 3 inches by 3 inches. So it's just a nice little cute thing, and it cheered me up yesterday, so that's all that matters. Next, exciting stuff. I entered Bonnie's giveaway, collbn, on FlossTube, and she had 2 prizes to give away. She had a craft prize and she had a cross stitch prize, and you had to select which one you wanted to enter, and I entered the cross stitch one, obviously, and oh, I won it. I can't believe it. So happy, first FlossTube prize win. And collbn, Bonnie, I'm going to call you Bonnie, very, very generous lady, a very naughty lady, but thank you so much. I'm going to show you on her video. She said that this was the prize. She had 2 books here on how to dye your fabric. They come with charts as well. This really interested me because I want to give this a go. Quite a few of you are doing it, and I see the benefits of dyeing your own fabric so you can choose your own colours. So when I saw those, I was very excited. And she also mentioned this Just Cross Stitch Collection DVD. Now this has been on my 123 Stitch wish list ever since I joined 123 Stitch. It actually has every Just Cross Stitch Collection magazine edition from the years 2001 to 2010 on one disc. How awesome is that? Obviously you can't, you know, flick through the pages of a book, but it's all there for you. Just pop the CD in the drive, and oh, it's fantastic. I've already started looking through it. Added to my wish list of designs. So thank you so much for those that you said were part of the prize, Bonnie. Then you were naughty and you added in a whole heap of extra stuff. I'm going to show you what they are. Okay, so she added in a couple of hoops, and this one I used on my Life's a Stitch pincushion. So nice and bright and matched the colours. So I love hoops, and now I have lots of hoops. So I won't need to buy any more, which is awesome. And she also put in one of these little bobbin boxes, and I like these. These are great for just the small designs, and you know, be great for my cards, and perfect. And there's a few plastic bobbins in there as well. I use the plastic ones. And she included some DMC card bobbins. I also use these. I use these for when, like, I use the plastic bobbins for my master set of colours, and then if I have to kit up something with the same colour again, I use the cardboard ones, and then I throw them away once I'm finished with them. Oh, once they're empty. I don't throw the floss away. But I've never seen these before with the DMC. I haven't seen them in any of my craft stores here in Australia. So they're really lovely. And she included 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13 of the variegated DMCs. Up until now, I only had this blue one. Now I've got all of them. Aren't they beautiful? Can't wait to stitch with those. I'll have to make up some more of Trisha's cards to store those. And she included Just Cross Stitch Magazine April edition with the beautiful peacock on the front cover. Some beautiful designs in this magazine. So that is fantastic. And there was a lovely card as well. And some fabric. Seriously, Bonnie. Way too generous. Silk weaver fabric, and I've never had silk weaver fabric before. So this is 28 count Lugana I don't know what the colour is. It's just got numbers here on the front. But this is a 25 by 14 inch piece. And this is in mottled pinks. And oh my goodness, I just love this fabric. To find something beautiful for that. So that's number 1. And then number 2 is a 32 count. I'm not sure if this is silk weaver because it doesn't have a sticker on it, but 32 count possibly. She's got a question mark there. I haven't checked it. And it's a 17 by 19.5 inch piece in shades of green. Look at that. Love that. I'm not a green lover, but I love that. It's me who has a green wall behind her. So yes, I'm sure I can find something for that one. And the last one is also silk weaver, and this is Merino, 28 count. Never stitched on that before. Looks beautiful. Can really see the holes very well. Love it. And this is in, I'm not sure what size this piece is, but this is in shades of, there's a bit of blue and some purple, a little bit of aqua. Can't quite see it all that well there. As I said, the sun's pretty crappy today. But trust me, it's beautiful. So thank you so much, Bonnie. Very, very naughty, naughty lady. But I do so appreciate it, and well, as you can see, I've already used the hoop and I've already looked at the DVD, so be assured that everything will get used eventually, I promise. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, now I want to discuss my plans for June. Yay! What are we doing first? Okay, so June 1st for me will be my Country Cottage Needleworks Cottage of the Month series. That's a long word to say. That I am doing along with Kristen on Instagram. Hi again. So this is June. And I must admit, when I got June out, I was a little bit, because I don't know about you guys, I don't enjoy stitching large blocks of white. Doesn't matter what colour the fabric is, I just don't like stitching large blocks of white because I feel that my white stitches just never sit nice. Why is that? Why do I focus more on white than anything else? I don't know. But yeah, just to me, they just never look perfect. Anyway, I like all the strawberries and it's cute. So I'll be doing that one tomorrow, 1st of June. I will also be continuing on this month with Celtic Autumn. Very excited because I didn't get to do much of her. So I'll actually be stitching her tonight because I'm supposed to start her on 1st of June, but I am not. I'm doing Country Cottage, so switching 2 nights around. Whip 2 is Save the Stitches Blackwork, so I'll be continuing with that. And Whip 3 is my, sorry, I have to check my notes, my Heaven and Earth Designs Mini Bathtime. Then a new spot in my rotation for Whip 4, and Jennifer, get excited. This is it. And I just saw on Cross Stitches Fun Facebook group an hour ago that another lady is stitching this. So snap, I've forgotten your name, I'm sorry, Sue? I'm completely sorry, I don't even know if you watch my videos, but this other lady is stitching this as well. It's called Motherly Devotion. I have been on the hunt for a decent giraffe design for a long time. There are a lot of giraffe designs out there, but a lot of them are a little bit too cutesy for what I was looking for. And just to recap, my daughter and I had a one-on-one experience at our zoo with the giraffes, and it was amazing. We got to feed them, we got so close. I'll actually insert some pictures at the end of the video so you can see what we experienced, and we even got a little bit of a one-on-one experience with the hippo, so I'll add photos of that as well. But these creatures are absolutely beautiful. Now this is from Cross Stitch Collection magazine, September 2012 edition. That's it there. There it is on the cover. And this design is by Jane Netley Mayhew. And I don't know if you guys have ever heard of her before, but she does the most amazing animal cross-stitch designs. Look her up. Seriously, they are like photographs. So I'm so excited to stitch this. I have chosen a Colour Cascades fabric to do it on. I really had trouble choosing between two. It was this one, which is Clouds, or Gold Digger. But I decided that it was just too much tan. There's so many, here again, there's so many tan colours in the giraffes, and there's no back stitching. So the lightest colour blended in just a little bit too much with the background, and I didn't want to lose it on the fabric. And what I was going for was to make it look like they were outside. So what I chose was Clouds. Colour Cascades. As you can see there, that looks very much like the sky, which was what I was going for. So I think the colours will really pop on that, and it will make it look more like a photograph once it's finished. This is, I've forgotten what it is. It's 28 count Lugana. Of course it is. This is my favourite fabric. So I'm really excited to start that, and as I said, it will be a commemoration piece of the experience my daughter and I had. Just, yeah, look her up, guys. She's an amazing designer. Okay, the other thing I have planned for June is my great niece's christening, so I'll be doing a card for her. I'm not going to show it here because I don't know if her mum watches my videos, so keep that little bit of a secret for now. And future plans for her, her first birthday is in November, so I have chosen a design which I haven't ordered just yet, but I saw this design on Mandy's video and loved it, so I'm going to be doing that for her first birthday. Again, can't say too much about that because I don't know if my niece watches. So I have to try and slot that into my plans, my stitching plans for the year. But everything's going well so far. The rotations are working really well. Can't believe I've just completed, Life's a Stitch was my 18th finish for the year. It's just, that's bizarre. I've never, I don't think I've even done 2 finishes in a year. Oh, maybe I have. Definitely less than 5. And to have 18, it's just nuts. But obviously it's working for me. Yeah, I'm going to keep going with it. Love it. Yeah. Okay. So I think I've rattled on long enough. This afternoon I will be stitching. I'm going to make my little ornament, and I will begin work on my 2 tutorial videos. The Easter wall hanging, which I know a lot of you are still waiting to see that, and the Biscornu, which hopefully it will, I mean, it worked beautifully when I was stitching it, so hopefully I can explain it properly through the photos for you all. It's really not as scary as it looks. It's just getting that first stitch in the right place, and then lining up your stitches from there. And to be honest, I really thought I was going to stuff it up. And when I got to the end and the stitches matched up perfectly, I was very surprised, because normally I do stuff up things like that. And I have to undo it and then do it again. And sometimes it's, you know, a few times. And that's why I don't video as I do it. Because I like to take my time, and yeah, I'm a, you know, measure 3 times, cut once type of person. So anyway, that's it for me today. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for your beautiful comments. I read them all. I respond to them all. Love you guys and keep up the great work. Love watching all your videos. And anyone new out there that I haven't watched, please let me know. I want to subscribe. So take care, guys, and I will see you in a couple of weeks with a tutorial. Bye.